Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary peoples. This is Bronson's, or me, by any means necessary, fantasy football talk for Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. I'm going to wish all the veterans and current soldiers a happy Veterans Day today, because I might forget tomorrow, and I'm not going to be filming on Friday, I don't think. I kind of got it streamlined to Wednesdays and Thursdays now. This will be the defense special teams, spikes and yikes in your top 10 list for the week. But as I always do, because I'm so conceited, I'm talking about myself and my day. So I did apply for an apartment in Tucson yesterday. I'm still waiting to hear back today. They asked, they asked me for pay stubs. They wanted to confirm my money, and last month was not the greatest month because I had the 1 week vacation, so I had like the $150 week, and then I had last week because the car problems only worked half a week, so it wasn't the greatest month. For this place, I have to make 2.5 times the rent, so based on last month's income, it was pretty close. I had to give them my UPS pay stubs as well. So we'll see how that goes. My credit also is not great, so that's going to make my deposit higher. I think I mentioned that yesterday. I also reached out to another apartment in Tucson, one that's a little bit cheaper, but the application fee is higher, and the rent to income, I think is rent to income, I think maybe it was the same, maybe it was higher, I think maybe it was 3 times, but still the same boat. I know I make enough, I just have to prove it, which is turning out to be more difficult than I thought it would be based on my pay stubs. Even though I on the applications I'm saying I make 3,000 plus, because in a normal month I would, because I make at least 800 a week at Uber. So 800 a week, 1,600, that's 3,200 right there. And then you add my UPS money, I'm making 35, sometimes 4,000 a month. 35 pretty easily. I'm just not really able to prove that. That's just a normal week, a normal month. But last month wasn't far from a normal month, so I don't know. I haven't applied for that one yet. I'm waiting to hear back from this first one, because I don't really have the money to be throwing it away on application fees for apartments right now anyways. But the first one is in central Tucson, pretty much right on campus, which is a good location to be in. It's actually one of the apartments that my friend showed me and she recommended, and I liked everything about it. The price was fine. The proximity to college girls, the central location was all nice. I just didn't like the name of the complex. I guess I was just being kind of picky. It's called College Town Apartments, so it's so stupid. But this girl, she reached out to me because I've been posting on this Tucson housing forum, looking for roommates or something, and I'm not really getting any bites because I'm a older single dude. Nobody, these college kids don't want to live with an older guy, and women don't want to live with a guy, so it's discriminatory, and nothing I can do about it. Can't prove it. Can't prove they're discriminating against me based on my gender or my age, but they are. So it is what it is. But this girl reached out to me because she's trying to move out of state in January, which is around the time I wanted to kind of move down there, and she wants to transfer her lease. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? Everything checks out. She's not a scammer. She took a video for me. She's not catfishing me. I've seen who she is. we'll see. We'll see about that. For some reason last night Uber wasn't given happened to a lot of us, I guess, but me, I didn't get my tips. I was getting my base pay from Uber for my trips, but I wasn't getting my tips. They finally came in today, like just recently, so it took about 24 hours for them to get them to me. I did call customer service, and they said that there was a known problem, and they're working on it. So I got those today. Lunch was pretty decent. I was a little upset because I was trying to get to a screening of a movie at 2:50, and I didn't. I ended up taking one last trip because I didn't realize how long it was going to take me. It was like 6 miles north, and I thought I could get it done by 3:10-ish because the movie started at 2. The movie showing was listed at 2:50, but like the first 5 minutes are like nothing. Trailers start 5 minutes in, so trailers started at 2:55. The movie probably started around between 3:10 and 3:15. I didn't get back to the theater till about 3:16. So by then I was like, I'm not gonna, I still have to buy a ticket. I still gotta eat concessions. I'm gonna miss the beginning of the movie, so I didn't make it. I was a little upset. I'll try again tomorrow because I'm probably not gonna go later tonight because the evening showings are at dinner time, and I don't really want to miss. I don't have money because I didn't work Monday, and I didn't work as late as I wanted to last night because I was frustrated with the fact I wasn't getting my tips. So I was, and it was really damn slow too. And I was just like, I'm not going to sit here. I think Uber was just having some problems, having some kind of technical difficulties yesterday because when I did pick up there was one pickup I did, and this was probably customer's fault. It had the location listed in the notes was not the location that Uber was telling me to go to, and so I went to the location Uber told me to go to. I got there, and because I don't ever look at the notes usually till I get there, because especially if it's an apartment complex, which is where I went, I'd always check the notes to make sure that I'm going to the right apartment, because Uber is like 50-50 on sending me to the right place. So I checked it to make sure I was going to the right apartment, and it didn't even say the apartment. It was telling me some building, some business over by my house, which was like a couple miles away. It wasn't too far out of the way, but it was a couple miles. So I was like, I'm confused. So I sent this lady a text. I was like, where exactly am I going? She didn't respond, so I went over to the place that the notes had it listed as. The place was closed. I was like, okay, obviously it's not here. So then I called her. I hate talking on the phone, so calling is the last resort, unless I'm calling my mom or something. It's the only person I really like talking to on the phone. I don't even really like talking to her on the phone. But I do it because I'm a good son. Called her. She answered. She was really reluctant to give me any information because, again, I'm a dude. Women don't trust guys even if we're delivering them food. But she did give me the apartment complex. I was like, okay, that's where Uber was telling me to go. So I went back over there, and then she texted me in the Uber app the apartment location, because in the Uber, if you text in the Uber app, it gets deleted once the order gets dropped off. So I can't, stalk her. I guess she thought I was going to stalk her. So she texted me the apartment, and I dropped it off. But I think she worked at that business, and she forgot to change it when she ordered her dinner. But the reason I told that story is because my text messages weren't getting through from me to the customer through the Uber app. And so Uber was definitely having some difficulties yesterday. So I was like, screw this. I'm not going to waste my time out here tonight. I'll just make up for it during the rest of the week. So, luckily today lunch was pretty good. Overall, I made over $40 in 2 hours. So can't complain about that. And that was just 5 deliveries. So $40, 5 deliveries, that's pretty damn good. Definitely going to go back out later. But yeah, 10 minutes of me talking. Let's get to the football stuff, right? Your top 10 list for the week. Number 1, we got the Eagles versus the undefeated Eagles versus the Washington Commanders, and the backup quarterback Taylor Heinicke still out there. 2, we got the Saints defense, which coming into the year was considered one of the top fantasy defenses. They've been less than one of the top fantasy defenses, but they've been okay. They'll be facing the moribund Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's coming off a bye, though, so I'm a little concerned. I think Mike Tomlin, pretty damn good coach. I think he's going to figure something out over the bye week. But on paper, the Saints still look like a pretty good start. Titans defense versus the Broncos, number 3. Also, the Broncos coming off a bye. I trust Russell Wilson to figure something out. I don't trust Nathaniel Hackett. The guy definitely can't coach. And one of my favorite fantasy football team names for next year is going to be Nathaniel Can't Hackett. Yes, that's going to be. I'm going to use it. So you guys are welcome to use it yourselves if you want. I'm not going to use it this year because I already got my names for this year, but it's in the docket, on the docket for next year's team. Giants versus the Texans is number 4. 5, we got the Cowboys defense at the Packers in Green Bay. Who knew that the Packers offense was going to be so bad that a defense starting against them would be top 5. 6, we got the Cardinals defense versus Cardinals defense at the Rams. It sounds like Matthew Stafford may not play in this game, so that makes the Cardinals defense even more appealing in my opinion. I was already high on him yesterday on the waiver wire before I even looked at these rankings, and now I'm even higher on him. So, spoiler alert, spiking the Cardinals defense. They're top 5 for me, top 5 play for me this week. 7, we got the Broncos defense at the Titans. 8, we got the Falcons defense at the Panthers. I feel like these guys just played each other. Didn't they just play each other like 2 weeks ago? Now they're playing each other again. That was a shootout, so I don't know. Can we really trust the Falcons defense? 9, we got the Bills defense versus my Vikings. That's going to be, man, what a game. We've all been anticipating that game pretty much all year. With the way the Vikings have been playing. A big game. 10, we got the Raiders versus the Colts. If there's ever a time in the last decade to start the Raiders defense in fantasy, this week against the Colts is probably it. Alright, so my yikes. I really only have one. I'm pretty content with this defense special teams list this week, but the Bills defense against my Vikings. I don't think the Bills defense is going to be a good option against my Vikings. I'm not trying to be biased. Just the Vikings were really good. And we got a really good offense, really efficient offense. We got great play calling finally from Kevin O'Connell. Finally. Took years. See, I want Mike Zimmer. I hope Mike Zimmer is watching this, and I hope that he can see what our offense can look like when you actually call a modern offense. When you're aggressive and when you know what the hell you're doing, when you have an offensive coordinator who knows what the hell he's doing. See what our offense can look like. It's a thing of beauty. Like when I was at the game against the Cardinals back in week 8, I can't say I was like predicting the play call that we were gonna do, but I was like thinking, seeing the formation, the way the defense was lining up, the way the offense was lining up, I was like, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to go to the left side, and usually that's what Kevin O'Connell was doing. And I was like, I've been waiting my whole life for an offense like this in Minnesota. Maybe not my whole life, but my whole adult life, for sure. So, yeah, we finally got the coach we want, an aggressive, young, offensive play caller. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for this future of my team. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. The Bills defense, not a top 10 player for me this week. And then, so a couple of defenses outside the top 10 who I'm spiking. Let's start with the Colts, 13 against the Raiders. The Raiders have been awful the last couple of weeks, and I think this is going to be a make or break game for Josh McDaniels. If the Raiders lose to the Colts, with the ineptitude that the Colts have been showing over the last couple of weeks, benching Matt Ryan and firing Frank Reich and hiring a guy literally off the street to coach them on an interim basis with 5 days to prepare for the Raiders. A guy who's never coached at this level before. I understand he's smart. He's a former player. He's a good leader. I understand all that. I have no problems with what the Colts did. I think Jeff Saturday is going to be okay, but I don't think I don't think the Colts are going to be okay this week. So, like, I'm debating my Eliminator Challenge on ESPN. I'm still undefeated. I'm still alive because I haven't lost yet. So I've gone 9 weeks. I'm 9-0. I'm debating picking the Raiders this week because I just have a feeling that there's no way in hell the Colts are going to win this game. But this is a Josh McDaniels Raiders team. They've been awful this year. His coaching's been awful. His play calling's been awful. So definitely an exploitable offense for the Colts defense. So I'm liking the Colts defense a little bit more than the consensus. And then 14, we got the 49ers defense, which has been a pretty good defense this year against the Chargers. The Chargers are an offense that has looked, let's say, bad, but they haven't looked good without Keenan Allen. And now they probably have no Keenan Allen still because he re-aggravated the hamstring. They have no Mike Williams. Don't have any really trustworthy wide receivers. The number one guy is going to be Gerald Everett or Joshua Palmer, who had a big week last week. So props to him. He came out of nowhere with that. But the Chargers offense has not looked great this year. And I think the 49ers coming off a bye week. They've had an extra week to study Justin Herbert. They've had an extra week to study Austin Eckler in this offense. I think I'm leaning 49ers defense more than Chargers offense in this game. I'm not sold on the 49ers defense being top 10 possibly. But I'm putting them up at like 11-ish. So I'm dropping the Bills out, moving the Colts up into the top 10, moving the 49ers up from 14 to about 11. Maybe a borderline start in a 10-team league. Probably should start in a 12-team league. 49ers defense. All right, that's it. That's defense special teams video for you. This would have been a lot shorter if I had just shut the hell up and not talked, right? If I had just done the information, gave you the information. I talked so much at the beginning of the video, I don't know if I'm going to have anything to say in the beginning of the next one. The quarterbacks and tight ends, which I will do immediately after this uploads. So, yeah. I don't know why I'm in a really good mood today. It's a beautiful day. Again, if this is going to become the new normal, you can't see anything. It's kind of dark. If this is going to be the new normal with climate change in November, then I'm all for it. Please give me these 50 degree clear sunny days in November. I love it. So less rain the better. That's what I think. Even though it was freezing cold this morning, I actually had to thaw out my windows for the first time this season. I'm about to start parking in the garage because my freaking I don't know what belt it is, but it's getting worse. I thought it was the alternator that was squealing. So when I finally got that replaced, I was so thrilled to not have to hear the squealing. Especially, I feel bad for my neighbors because at 4 in the morning I turn my car on and it just squeals and screeches. There's nothing I can do about it. I just sit to my driveway, let it play out for the 30 seconds it takes to shut it up, and then I drive. But or if I floor my gas pedal, that shuts it up too. But then it just it'll just start again. When at the first time I stop at a stop sign on my way to work. So I feel bad for them. And then the screeching, the squealing is just awful. It's an awful noise. I hate it. And it's just getting worse now. It's getting way worse this winter than it was last year. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's affecting the performance or the ability for my car to run. But it's god awful to hear. And it makes me angry when I hear it. So I gotta get that looked at, I guess, at some point. though it's a little bit lower on the priority list right now. But where was it going with that? Yeah, well, yeah, because I was talking about my car freezing over. I'm gonna have to start parking in the garage. I think the squealing belt is from the moisture in the air as well. So if I park it in the garage overnight, I'm hoping that shuts it up. But I think I've tried that before, and it didn't really do anything. So it just makes it louder because it's in the garage, and there's, reverb. So I don't know. I do feel bad for my neighbors, though, but there's nothing I can do about it. So you just have to, I have to listen to their stupid ass, annoying barking dog. I get to listen to their children. So it's a 50-50. We're even. Okay, let's get this ended. Let's get this uploaded so I can get on to the next video, more content. So peace, love, and nacho fries. Good luck. Hit me up with questions if you got any line of concerns, because I'd love to help you. Bye.